Okay. So what is JSP and why JSP? So you might have got the answer why JSP when you wrote this session demo application. In session demo application, what we have done, we have written 4 servlets, is it? Ask city, ask country, ask name, save servlet. What are we doing? We are writing out.println and we are writing HTML. To concatenate this, you might have found some difficulty. Concatenate, syntax errors may come whenever you are not concatenating correctly. So people, when servlet was introduced, people were very happy. Okay, the thing was they were able to generate dynamic output. Very happy with servlet. But after they wrote a lot of servlets, they got bored. We cannot write out.println. We cannot write HTML inside Java because generally the HTML pages will be having a lot of HTML code. Here I wrote only some few lines. If you have to write a real HTML, there will be a lot of tags. If you have to say out.println, 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 it's not going to work. You cannot write big pages. So writing big pages in servlets is difficult. So the idea was now they introduced one more idea. Why to write HTML inside Java code? The alternative, the reverse is write Java code inside HTML, then it will be good, right? With that idea, they introduced JSP. JSP stands for Java Server Pages, right? So according to JSP, every JSP file ends with an extension .JSP. So now I'll say mysys.jsp. Instead of writing .html, what we are doing is we are keeping .jsp. The advantage is now you can write HTML code inside JSP just like HTML page, but you can add some dynamic Java code by using some tags, right? Okay, I will write .jsp file. It will contain Java code, HTML code. Whenever I give a request to .jsp file, who is serving the dynamic content? Servlet container. Servlet container knows only to invoke servlets. It does not do anything. Right? Now the thing is, this .jsp file has to be converted as servlet, so that the servlet container will execute it. So for conversion, there is something called as JSP container. What is the purpose of JSP container? To take .jsp file as input and write .java file as output and then compile it to .class. Right? JSP container is responsible for converting JSP to servlets. Right? Again, how this JSP container is written by vendors? By following which specification? JSP specification. JSP is a specification like servlet. It says how the vendors should implement your JSP containers. Right? The purpose of JSP container is to read .jsp file and write .class. Right? So with this minimal idea, let's go and write a simple JSP page. I'll show you how this conversion happens. How this JSP is getting converted to a servlet. All the concepts I'll explain once we write a simple program. Write a new project. Write ask emp details.html, which will ask for ID, name, city, country. Okay. When you submit it, the request should go to servlet with URL pattern /a, just a dummy servlet, right? But before the request goes to A, the requirement is all are mandatory fields. ID, name, city and country, they should not be empty. Before the user submits the form, he should have written something. They should not be empty. If they are empty, the code in servlet A should not be executed. Same HTML file should be displayed with a message on the top saying all fields are mandatory. Will you be able to do that with data? Just discuss the idea first. The requirement, you understood clearly? Will you be able to do that in filter?
If that is empty, we have to display that mandatory.
See, in filter, will you be able to get request parameters? You can configure a filter that will be executed before servlet A. That you know. In filter, can you access request parameters? Yes, request dot get parameters. It's there. Get parameter name, get parameter values, all methods are there, right? You can get all the parameters and compare if it is equals to null or empty. If any one of the parameters is empty, you should not call change or do filter. Change or do filter will call the servlet. You should not call change or do filter if any one of the fields are empty. You should forward you should forward the request to same HTML file. You know how to forward? Dispatcher, by getting the dispatcher you can forward, right? So you have to forward the request to same HTML. But before not forward, include. Include means what? It will include the output of this one as well as HTML. Before including, what you have to write? Outer println all fields are mandatory. All fields are mandatory. Then include. So you will get the HTML which will on top get all fields are mandatory. Right? Clear? So you can use filters for validating your inputs. That's the concept here. You can validate your inputs. Of course, for validating inputs, we will see tomorrow JavaScript can be used. Right? But if you want to do some server-side validation, then you can do it inside filter. There are two types of validation that can be done. On client side, we are using JavaScript. We will see it tomorrow. On server side, we can use filters. Right? I want you to take this example. Let me see how many of you will at least complete by tomorrow. Take it seriously, yeah? If you just spend some 1 more hour, you can enjoy the rest of the time. Or you may even complete it during the lunch break also. Okay, it's up to you. I introduced about JSP. According to JSP specification, which is implemented on server. What is the implementation of servlet specification? Servlet container. Servlet container is implemented by using servlet specification. Similarly, what is the implementation of JSP specification? JSP container. What is the purpose of JSP container? Yeah, to convert .jsp to .java. Yes, sir. Or we'll say JSP file is converted to a servlet by JSP container. Right. So now let us write a simple project for JSP. You can follow with me parallelly now. You can do parallel with me. I will not be giving some time because we will be doing some very basics here. Just 7 JSP. Now outside web INF, I am creating inside web content, creating a new JSP. See here, there is new JSP. Take it and give something welcome. Delete everything from this file. The extension is .jsp. I will say simply welcome to JSP. It is very easy, but you have to practice. Okay, that's it. I just wrote a plain text. Now run it. See, I gave a request to welcome.jsp. I got that output, right? So let us try to understand what is happening when I gave a request, right? Just listen here for some few minutes. Where is your application deployed? Where should you keep your folder inside your Tomcat? Inside? Inside? Web apps. Right? Let's see whether in web apps of my Tomcat, this is my Tomcat. Web apps. Just now, what is my project I created? I created 07 JSP. Is it there? No, but I got the output. So, what is happening? What we have done is we have added Tomcat as a plugin to Eclipse, right? So, Eclipse is maintaining the configuration of Tomcat at some other location. It is deploying at some other location. Whenever you say run as run on server, it is deploying at some other location, right? So now the concept is Tomcat is configured as a plugin to Eclipse. Where are the plugins? Go to your workspace, JE workspace. This is my workspace. Under that there is metadata, .metadata folder. Go inside it. There is a folder called .plugins. Here all the plugins are installed for your this one, right? See, lot of folders are there for plugins. Then come down. There is something called as org.eclipse.wst.server.core. From down, fifth one. Did you find? Go inside it. So this is a folder where the plugins for Tomcat are there, right? In Eclipse there are a lot of plugins. Tomcat plugins are here inside this folder. org.eclipse.wst.server.core. Inside this there is temp0. Okay. Inside it there is WTP web apps and web apps. Web apps is empty. WTP web apps. Yes, do you see a project called as 07 JSP here? Right? And here WebINF, welcome.jsp. Inside WebINF, classes. Right? This is web production. So your project is deployed at this location of right? If you are not using Eclipse plugin, what we do is we just copy paste this folder to web apps folder. That's all. Tomcat is Eclipse is deploying it here. That's all. Nothing else. Right? Okay. See here, there is a folder called as conf inside which there is server.xml, the main configuration file for Tomcat. So all it's a copy of the Tomcat folder here, which is maintained by Eclipse, right? Now I have a simple doubt. Tell me what is happening. Inside my 07 JSP, what is the folder I have? Web content. Where is web content here? Inside web content, actually when I am creating a project, inside web content there is WebINF. But where is web content here? No. Right? According to servlet specification, this is the structure of a web application folder. There is a folder WebINF classes, lib, web.xml. But while writing in Eclipse, nobody has asked me what is this web content. It was not part of the directory structure. Nobody has asked me till now. The thing is, in Eclipse, the folder structure is like this. But whenever I say run as run on server, what Eclipse is doing? It is building your project. Building means you compile all the .class files which are present in src, JavaScript for src, copy it to WebINF plus classes. It will create a directory structure and then copy your folder to that place, right? So internally, I mean to say, internally Eclipse is building your project, creating a directory structure as required. This is the one which we see in source, but while deploying, this is not the one, right? Eclipse is building. Internally, Eclipse is using a tool called as Ant. Eclipse will use a tool called as Ant. What is Ant? Another neat tool, that's all. Abbreviation of Ant is another neat tool. This Ant is a product of Apache Ant. Just like Apache Tomcat, Ant is another product of Apache. What is this Ant? Ant is a tool for building your projects. Right? To build your projects, Ant will help. Internally, Eclipse is using Ant for building. Right? What do I mean by building? Compiling all Java classes, creating the folder structure as required, and moving this folder from source to some other folder. These are all the steps in building your project. It's all done by using a tool called as Ant. Right? Maybe in your projects, once you go, you might be using either Ant, or there is one more famous tool called as Maven. These are all build tools. For building, they will be using these things. That means while creating while developing, you will be having a different folder structure while developing. But while deploying, what you want the folder structure as required according to specification. This tool will configure an XML file. It will read an XML configuration file, read all the source file, compile them, create the directory structures required, move the folder to one location, whatever. They are all done by build tools like Ant or Maven. Internally, Eclipse is using it, right? See here, project clean. What this will do is clean. It will clean your output directory. Whenever you are running your project, what it is doing? It's copying it at its location. It is a clean. What this will do is delete the output directory, again build it. So if some errors occur, like if your project is not clearly compiled or somehow, what we generally do is we clean the project. Cleaning will clean the output directory and regenerate all the files freshly. Sometimes, if you are not getting expected output, if you suspect that there are some compilation issues, then you can go to project and clean. You can select the project whatever is required, right? Or by default all projects are. Now once you save your .java file, earlier in core Java also, automatically file is getting compiled. It is because of project. See here, build automatically is checked in. That because it is checked in, once you save your .java file, automatically your project is built in. Right? Just wanted to tell that. Okay, now coming back to JSP, this is your project, and coming to here, there is a folder called as work. What is the JSP container doing? It is reading .jsp file and converting it to a .java file and compiling it to .flat file. So whatever JSP container is doing, whatever work the JSP container is doing internally, is kept inside the work folder. Okay, this is not for us. It is internal to Tomcat. Right? We are not worried. See, whenever I gave a request to .jsp file, I got the output. I'll get the output. As a developer, we are not worried about how this JSP is getting translated to server. But internally, JSP container is doing it. If you understand how the translation happens, you will become much more confident. Right? If you want to see how it is getting translated, go to work directory. What is Catalina? I told you on the first day of service. Yeah, name given to container of Tomcat. Okay, Catalina. Inside that localhost, you find project Then inside that arg.apache.jsp. See here, you have a file called welcome_jsp.java, welcome_jsp.class. So actually my file name was what? Welcome.jsp. Welcome.jsp was converted to welcome_jsp.java automatically. Now I'll just open the .java file. Okay, see welcome_jsp.java extends HTTP base, HTTP JSP. Hey, I told that this .jsp will be converted to servlet, right? I expect that welcome_jsp implements servlet, but it is extending. That means this class is internally implementing servlet, right? This class HTTP JSP base is internally implementing servlet, right? Here there is a lot of automatically generated code. I'll explain you slowly one by one, but coming down there is one method called as _JSP service, in which there is a method. See here, after some code there is a code. Welcome to JSP. It is very easy what you have to, right? Whatever I write inside my .jsp file came as an argument to out.write. So when this servlet is executed, I am writing out, right? So now you understood the process. I gave a request to .jsp. Whenever it is .jsp file, the control will go to JSP container. JSP container will translate this .jsp to .java, compile it, then give the compiled class to servlet container. Servlet container will execute this servlet, right? This is the process. So do you think that JSP is slower than servlet? Yes, because when it was a servlet, directly servlet was executed. But here when I gave .jsp, the .jsp has to be converted to servlet, compiled, then executed. So you people feel that it is slow. But my question is, how many times does this conversion happen? Only once. So for the first request, it will be a bit slow, definitely. But from second request onwards, already translated, right? So it's same as writing a servlet, right? Any doubts till now? JSP. I'll just tell you one thing and we'll take a break. Okay. I want to write some dynamic code. That means Java code. If I want to write Java code, I have to write Java code inside a special tag. This tag is called as scriptlet. This is a scriptlet tag. Scriptlet tag looks like this. Scriptlet. So if you want to write any Java code, you have to write here. So what I want to do is I want to print the current time on the server. Okay. So just I'll say date. Date, if I press Control space, I'll get it. But date is present in which package? java.util.date. Oh, see here, when I press the Control space, automatically it is writing a tag like this. This is how to write a import statement, right? So this tag is called as, this is a scriptlet. If I just introduce that symbol, this is called as directive tag or directive tag. So I introduce you to two tags, directive tag and scriptlet tag, right? Inside directive tag, what we can do is we can write import statements like this. Simply for now, I'll explain, I'll elaborate on this. Now date D is equals to new date. I want to print it out dot print D.
You have to use equal.
Huh?
In our computer, it's not taking.
Why?
That's why.
Control space, you press it.
No, if we place equal next to percentage,
Huh.
we are getting.
No, you close your .jsp and open it again. We'll run it. Okay, I got it, but let me show you the translated file. See here. See this line. This is the plain text. In my JSP I wrote two things. Plain text I wrote. Plain text came as an argument to out.write method inside my servlet. Right. These are all for new lines. Right? And this is the code which I wrote inside my scriptlet tag. Whatever code I write inside my scriptlet tag is just copied into the servlet. Just like that it's copied. Right? So the conversions, you have to understand two types of conversion. If you write plain text inside your .jsp, it will come as an argument to out.write. If you write something inside scriptlet tag, it is just copied like this. Right? And one more thing, whatever you have kept in directive tag, right? You are writing a directive with name page. The name of the directive right now is page, and you are saying import. Whatever you are writing in page directive will be just copied on the top. See, is it imported? So directive says while translating the .jsp to .java file, write an import at the top. Right? Import directive. Okay, we'll take a break. So we saw about two tags, scriptlet tag and directive tag, and we understood about the conversion process. Whatever I am writing as a plain text will go as an argument to out.write of the converted servlet. And whatever I am writing inside scriptlet tag is just copied into the converted servlet, right? And one more doubt I have is, I am using a variable called as out. Can I use a variable without declaring it? No. If it was in my servlet, I was saying response.getWriter out and then out.println. Here I am directly using out. How is it possible? Because whatever I write the code here is translated to a servlet. Let's see that servlet. Here in this servlet, my code is coming from here, right? But before that, there is some automatically generated code. See, the method is what? Underscore JSP service. Here is there a variable called as out declared? What is its type? JSP writer. JSP writer is a subclass of print writer. Right? Out is a variable of type JSP writer. JSP writer is a subclass of print writer. No, if it is in JSP, you cannot change. It's a predefined variable. This you are not writing. This is not your code. It is automatically generated code. So out is out.
This will be generated later. So now.
No. See. This is a method, right? Of translated servlet. Here out is declared. Where is my translated code coming? From here, right?
But how this variable will be available there in the JSP?
That's what. My JSP is not executed by servlet container. This is executed by servlet container. What JSP container is doing? It is reading .jsp file, using some IO, and writing .java file. That's all. Reading, writing. JSP container will not check for syntax. Read and write. Right? While writing, it will follow some rules. So before writing, our code will come from this line. What our JSP you write, this code is common. My code will come from this line. But by this time, out is initialized, out is declared on top, and it is also initialized. Right? I'll explain you about this code, but just understand, by the time our code comes, out is declared and initialized. So we can use out in our JSPs. It is implicitly available in our JSPs. So out is an implicit object in my JSP. Implicit object means I need not declare it. I can directly use that in my JSP. Right? Any doubts?
Can we use directly D because it will be converted?
Here I use no D.
No, not print.
Huh.
Only D.
If I write only D, what will happen? Suppose if I write like this, whatever in scriptlet is directly copied to servlet. Now just see, I'll just run it. It's a compilation error, but still it will run. Run as run on server. See, I got a exception. What is it saying? Unable to compile the class for JSP. Now I will show you the generated code. See, just like it copy, it's blind. JSP content is very blind. Just to copy, and after it is written, we try to compile. During compilation, we got an error. It is not valid syntax of Java, right? So we got a compilation error, and I got status 500. 500 means what? Some internal server error. If some exception occurs on server, we'll get 500. Huh? Huh? Out.print and out.write, right? Okay, correct. What you asked a very good question. What is the difference between out.write and out.print? Out.write method, there is no write method which will take object as parameter. There are a lot of write methods in printwriter, but there is no method called write which will take object. Let's see. I will just open some of the Java class. This is out response.getRight will give me write. Is there any method which will take object? Now there is a method which will take in string, but is there any one which will take object? The superclass. So for write method we cannot pass object. For print method we can pass object. There is a print method which will take object, right? And again, print method, what it will do is if I pass any object to print method, it will literally call toString, right? ToString method will be automatically called by the print method if you pass an object, the print string representation of that object. So when do you use write method and when do you use print method? If you want to just write a string, then use write. And if you want to print objects also, then we use print. So normally we use print. We can use print for both purposes. So normally we use print, right? So here, as it was a plain text, inside my HTML, whatever a plain text I write, it will come as an argument out.write. So as I know that it is a plain text, no objects. So it is coming as an argument out.write, right? And now I am passing reference D to print method. Internally, toString will be called. If you pass any object reference to print method, toString will be automatically called. Right? That's the difference. Any other doubts? Now, let us try to understand the conversion process. Right? Just concentrate here for 10 minutes. I will show you the conversion process. Once you understand this, JSP is nothing. JSP is very easy once you understand this. Okay, just see here. Concentrate here for 10 minutes. See, in Java x.servlet.jsp package, there is an interface called as JSP page extends servlet. According to servlet specification, a servlet class should implement servlet interface, right? According to JSP specification, the translated JSP page should implement JSP page interface. Of course, JSP page interface is extending servlet. So if a class is implementing JSP page, internally it is a servlet, right? So just two things again saying clearly. According to servlet specification, any class which implements servlet interface is a servlet. But according to JSP specification, any class which is implementing JSP page, a class which is getting translated from JSP to servlet should implement JSP. Who will be generally translating it? Containers. JSP containers translating. So we never care about this generally. It is taken care by containers, right? So the translated servlet will be implementing JSP page. So let's see what all methods are present inside JSP page. There are two methods. JSP init, JSP test. So I just list all the methods here. So in servlet interface, what are the methods? Init, which is taking servlet config as parameter, then destroy method, and then service method, which is taking servlet request, servlet. These are the methods, important methods inside servlet. Then JSP in JSP page is extending servlet, right? What are the methods present in JSP init? Sorry, JSP page, JSP init. JSP, say this method. Okay. Now, coming back to API, there is one known subinterface of JSP page called as HTTP JSP page is extending JSP page, and what's the method? Underscore JSP service, which is taking HTTP server request and HTTP server response. So why HTTP JSP page? This is particular to HTTP protocol. Just like we had generic servlet and HTTP servlet, this method is taking HTTP server request, HTTP server. It's particular to HTTP, right? So the HTTP JSP page extends JSP page. So I'm just writing HTTP JSP page extends JSP page, and what's the method? Only one method, underscore JSP service which is taking HTTP sublet request comma HTTP servlet response. Right? Now tell me, if the translated servlet is implementing this interface, is it a servlet? Yes. If a translated servlet is implementing this interface, it is indirectly implementing JSP page and servlet interface is a servlet. Right. Now in Tomcat, they have written a class called as HTTP JSP base. This is particular to Tomcat. They have written a HTTP JSP base implementing HTTP JSP base implementing HTTP JSP page, right? And here they have given body for all the methods coming from the upperwards, right? Just understand that init method body is given init method is taking what? Servlet config, and it is just calling JSP int. Okay. Then destroy method is also given body inside HTTP JSP base. What do you call? JSP destroy. That's all, right? And inside service method, the service method is given body it will just call underscore JSP service and pass the request and right. So HTTP JSP base is having the body for all these methods. JSP is just a dummy method. Dummy implementation is just empty. JSP destroy is empty. JSP service is empty. Right? This is the implementation. Right? Now, translated JSP page is extending what? HTTP JSP base. See here. Welcome.jsp is a file. Welcome.jsp is translated to welcome_jsp.java. Extends HTTP JSP base. The translated file, translated Java file is extending HTTP JSP base. Right? And overriding what? Underscore JSP service. Right? Now, this is a servlet, right? Tell me, during initialization of a servlet container will call what? Init method. Always the container will call the methods present in servlet interface, right? Container will call init method which is taking servlet config as parameter. This init method is called by the container, right? It is internally calling JSP. During destroying, this one will be called by the container. It's calling JSP destroy. Whenever a request comes to the container for this servlet, it will call service method and it's calling underscore. So this overridden underscore JSP service will be called whenever a request comes, right? Now, tell me, if you want to write any initialization code for your JSP, where do you write? You can override JSP in it and you can write. And if you want to write destruction code for your JSP, you can override JSP destroy, not destroy, JSP destroy. In JSP you have to use JSP in it, JSP destroy, right? And then you can. Right. Now, in the underscore JSP service method, this is the code automatically generated. Here, there are some variables created. There is a variable called as page context. I'll just list out all the variables here. Page context, what else? Session, application, config, out, page, right? And also, what are the parameters to underscore JSP service request and response? I'll write them also here. Request, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 variables are declared here. They are just declared, right? They are all null, right? And they are initialized here. Page context is initialized, right? Application is initialized, config is initialized, session is initialized, out is initialized. All the variables are initialized. And from here my code starts. If I have written a plain text in JSP, it is coming as an argument to out.write. If I have written something inside scriptlet, it is just copy paste, right? This is how translation occurred, right? Now, before my code comes, all these variables are already declared inside my underscore JSP service, right? So inside my JSP scriptlet code, can I use all these variables without declaring? Whatever I write inside my scriptlet tag will just be copy pasted after these lines only, right? By this line, all the 8 variables are declared. So I can just use those 8 variables in my JSPs without declaring. They are called as implicit objects. So in JSP there are 8 implicit objects. See, I'll just press Control space. See, application, config, out, page context, request, response, session, whatever I have listed are directly available. I can use them directly inside my JSP. So we call them as implicit objects. The objects are available implicitly to our JSPs. We can use them even without declaring. That is the reason why we have used out without even declaring an initializing. Out is an implicit object of JSP. Because out is implicit object. Because the JSP is finally transferred to servlet. In that servlet, before my code comes, they are already declared. So that's why they are all implicit objects of JSP. So in JSP there are 8 implicit objects. These are the 8 implicit objects. I will explain about each one of them one by one now. Just note it down. These are the implicit. Okay, once you understand about 8 implicit objects, let me explain you about one by one. Let's take the first one, page context. What is servlet context? What is page context? Let's try to compare. You will understand easily about page context. Now tell me, what is servlet context? What information can I get from servlet context? Anything related to application? Whatever we configure in web.xml will be available through servlet context, right? So all the information about my application can be obtained through servlet context. Actually, the by mistake gave the name as servlet context. Better if they had renamed it to application context. Application context means it's an object which knows about the whole application, not about a particular servlet, but the whole application. Okay. Servlet context is an object which knows about the whole application. It knows about all servlets available in this application. Now tell me about page context. Yes. It's an object which knows about everything about this page. All objects available to this page, right? By using page context, we can know all the information about this current page, right? Now, for every JSP page, there will be one page context. So, if there are 100 JSP pages in my application, there will be 100 page contexts. One JSP, one page context. But how many servlet contexts? The whole application. Right. Now, session, you know, HTTP session. Servlet context. The variable name is application. Is that it? Servlet config, you know. JSP writer, it is subclass of print writer. Right? Page is pointing to this, the current object. Servlet. This you can ignore. Underscore one is the internal things. These are not part of standard. Right? Now coming back here, page context is initialized. Right? You don't worry about this code. What is JSP extract and all? This is internal to Tomcat. Page context is initialized. Right? Now page context is an object which knows about the whole application. So see here, application. How am I initializing? Page context dot get server context. Config page context dot get server. I am initializing session. Page context dot get session. Page context dot get out. Right? All other variables of this page are initialized using page context. Page context is an object which knows everything about this page. All the implicit objects available to this page can be obtained through page context. So this is how these variables are initialized, right? So now you understood about 8 implicit objects and how they are initialized. Any doubts? In the translation process, conversion of scriptlet to Java code and also this directive, right? Now one more I'll introduce, another tag. This is scriptlet tag. If I use equals, this is called as expression tag. If I use equals, it is JSP expression tag, right? Now I'll just say D. I will say new date. Okay, let's see what will happen if I run it, how it is translated, how this expression is translated. Run it. Okay, I got the output, but I got 2 dates, right? One is the result of out.println and one is the result of expression tag. Now see the generated code. See here, is this the code inside the scriptlet? Is this the code inside my expression? Right? So whatever I write inside expression is coming as an argument out.print directly. So if you want something to be directly printed into the HTML content, then you use expression. Whatever I am writing here inside expression tag is coming as an argument to out.print. So 3 things again. Plain text will come as an argument to out.write. Whatever you write in that scriptlet will just be copy pasted, right? And whatever you write inside expression tag will come as an argument to out.print. So if you want something to directly go into HTML code, you can use expression tag, right? Now instead of doing these 2 steps, I could have, it's same, right? Okay. So how many tags? 3 tags you understood? Now I want to write a method inside my JSP. So can I write a method inside a scriptlet tag? I said Java code can be written inside scriptlet tag. Okay. Suppose if I write a method public void do something. I am just declaring a method here. Okay. Why is it error? I said Java code can be written inside scriptlet. Just let me just run it. Will I get any error? Yes, whatever I write inside scriptlet tag, where it will go? It will go into underscore JSP service method. Method inside method, can I write? It's not a valid Java syntax. So see the translated code. This do something method is going inside underscore JSP service method. Method inside method, I cannot define one method inside another method. It's not a valid Java syntax. So compilation error, right? Now whatever I write should go out of underscore JSP service but inside the class, right? So if you want that, you can use another tag. Just keep an exclamation. This is nothing but JSP declaration tag. If you want to write any methods, you can write inside JSP declaration tag. So I just write it here again. This is JSP declaration. So 4 types of tags are available in JSP. That's it. So where will this go? If I keep something inside declaration tag, will it go into underscore JSP service? No, outside underscore JSP service, but inside the class. I can write anything inside this tag. It will go outside underscore JSP service. Now run it. Okay. Now let us see the generated code. Where is it? Do something. See, it is inside class declaration but outside underscore JSP service, right? Now tell me, if I want to create an instance variable of my translated servlet, where do I write? Inside which tag? There are 4 types of tags. If I want to write instance variables, where? Scriptlet? If I write something inside my scriptlet, where will it go, the translated code? Inside underscore JSP service. It will become a local variable. Declaration tag. If I write something in declaration tag, it will go outside underscore JSP service, but inside class. So if I declare a variable here, it will be instance variable, right? If I want to declare a static variable to my generated servlet, same. Declaration tag only. Because whatever I write is blindly copied into the generated Java file. JSP container is blind. It does not check about syntaxes. After .java file is created, it will try to compile. Compiler will give an error. Right? Any doubts till now? Clear? Now in my scriptlet, can I use session? Yes, right? But inside my declaration, can I use session? Why? Tell me. Yes, session is a local variable of underscore JSP service. This will not go inside underscore JSP service, right? So you can use implicit objects only inside either expression tag or inside, either expression tag or inside scriptlet tag, because whatever you write inside scriptlet tag or expression tag only are going into underscore JSP service. So you cannot use implicit objects inside declaration tag. That's the point. right? Okay. Now take an exercise. Once you know these basics, take a small exercise. Earlier we have written session demo, right? What was the output? First, my first select was ask name select. Okay, I'll just run it, show you. Why is it giving error? I'll just restart my server. Yeah, name, right? Once I submit, it is asking for city, then country, then it is displaying, right? Save server is saving and displaying, right? Now, how difficult you felt to write these things inside a Java code? Why did we write it inside Java code? For two reasons. I want the URLs to be encoded. For encoding URLs, I want to use response of encode URL and then write the same thing in action, right? And for other servlets, the next servlet, this is the first servlet. For other servlets, this ask city. Why did I write it inside servlet? Because I want to get the name, request parameter name, set it in session, right? And this is all just HTML code, is that? Now I want you to convert the same application to use JSP. So now I want to write 4 JSPs. One is for asking name, ask city, ask country, and for save. See how easy it is to write the same application in JSP. Wherever Java code is there, you write it inside a script type. Then build. Write 4 JSPs. Ask name.jsp, ask city.jsp, ask country.jsp, save.jsp. See how I'm writing the encoded URL. I think you might be confused at how to write this. Done. See here, I'm just running it. Let me check whether it is running correctly or not. Okay, so it's asking for name A B C L U, city D E F, country H I G. Yeah, it's printing, right? It's working. Now, in my application, how many pages are there? 4. I want the look and feel of all the pages to be same. That means if you take any page in any website, top header will be there, down footer will be there, and if there are any side menu will be there. Right? I want all the pages to have same look and feel. Right? So what I will do is I will write one file called as header.jsp, which can contain some logos or whatever, and footer.jsp, which will contain some copyright information. I want that footer.jsp and header.jsp to be included in all the JSP. Right? Now the concept is how to include one JSP inside other. You know how to include one servlet inside other? How to include the response of one servlet inside other servlet? Request dispatcher dot include. How do you get the reference of request dispatcher? From servlet context object dot get request dispatcher. Return the URL. And you want dispatch object dot include. You know how to include the response of one servlet inside other servlet. But now in JSP, how to include one JSP inside other JSP. So I'm just creating two files. New JSP header.jsp. And inside this I am not writing any code. Actually there will be logo, but now I'll just write this is header.jsp. You can include some image, logo image, and here I am writing another file footer.jsp. I'll say this is footer.jsp. right? Now coming to my first page is ask name. Inside the body I'll say I want to include. So there is a, what is this? Scriptlet tag, right? What is this? Directive tag. In directive tag there are 3 types of directives that you can use. We have seen page directive for importing. Include directive is there for including one file inside another file. Include file is equals to header.jsp. Similarly, at the bottom of the body, I'll say include footer.jsp. So in all the pages, what I can do is I can include header.jsp and footer.jsp. What is the advantage I am gaining? You may ask me, why can't you write the contents of header.jsp here itself? Why you want to include? Right? So yes, suppose in header.jsp what I will be using logos. Suppose if logo of our company changes, we have to change each and every page. Instead of changing each and every page, we can just change header.jsp. Right? So sometimes you require to include one page inside other, you can do like this. Similarly, you can include inside other pages also. I'm just running it, let's see whether header.jsp and footer.jsp will be included or not. Yes, see, on the top I am saying the contents of header.jsp and the bottom I am saying footer.jsp. Right? Now let me show you the generated Java code. See here, important thing is here arg.apache.jsp dot ask name, right? Yeah. Oh, I open dot class file. I open dot Java file. One thing important I want to show you here is, see here, the contents of header.jsp are here. Actually, these are the contents of header.jsp. So what happened? Before ask name.jsp is translated to Java file, contents of header.jsp are added into the JSP and then translated. That's why you are seeing this header here. Right? So when is including happening? Before translation. Before askName.jsp is translated to servlet, the contents of header.jsp are included here inside the JSP file, askName.jsp, and then translated, right? So if you are using include directive, we say that we are including statically. The including happens before translation, right? But there is one more way of including. See here, I will include the contents of footer by using JSP colon page is equals to footer dot. This is one way of including. That is one way of including. So what is the advantage we will see, right? See, I'll just run it again. See how I will show you how header.jsp is included and how footer.jsp is included. Now I'll just run and show you the translated file. Output will be same. Output will be same. But if I show you how it is translated, see, contents of header.jsp are included here, right? But coming down, see, footer.jsp, how is it included? It is just calling some method called as JSP runtime library dot include footer.jsp. The contents of footer.jsp are not copied here. That means here, is it not equivalent to something like dispatcher.include? It also dot include, right? That means here footer.jsp is included dynamically. Header.jsp is included before translation statically. If you are using include directive, the file is included before translation. The contents of the file header.jsp are copied into this askName.jsp, then translated. If you are using JSP colon include, then the file is included dynamically. At this time, whenever you are making a request to the JSP, the contents of footer.jsp are included dynamically, right? So that is the difference between JSP include and directive include. Let me know if you have any doubts. Just see this example, explain what will happen, you will understand it clearly. I have three files: askName.jsp, footer.jsp, header.jsp. I created askName.jsp, header.jsp at say 12:30. At timestamp of this file is 12:30, and I created footer.jsp at 12:31. Okay, and I created askName.jsp at 12:32. Okay, I didn't give any first request. When is the JSP translated to server? Whenever I give first request. Until I give first request, they will not be translated, right? Now I don't give request for header.jsp or I don't give request for footer.jsp. I gave a request to askName.jsp, right? Now askName.jsp will be translated to askName_JSP .java, right? So let's assume that I gave a request at 12:40. So the timestamp of this .java file will be 12:40. Now after .java it will be compiled to .class. Let's say timestamp is 12:40, right? It disappeared correctly. After 12:40, at 12:45, I changed some contents of this JSP. I modified the JSP file. Again I gave a request. Will it be retranslated or not? It will be retranslated. How does the container know that my file is modified? At 12:45 I modified it. I gave a request at 12:45. I modified it and I gave a request. So how does my container know that this JSP is modified? If it is modified only, it has to retranslate. Otherwise, no need to retranslate because it is already translated. How does my container know that it is modified? Tell me. Very good. The last modified time of .jsp is what? 12:45. What is the timestamp of .java translated one? 12:40. That means timestamp of .java file is less than .jsp file. That means .jsp file is modified. So it will retranslate. So container will understand whether to retranslate or not based on the timestamp of your .jsp file. If your timestamp of .jsp file is more than the translated file, then it will retranslate. Agreed? Okay. Now coming to the point, let's assume these are the timestamp, latest timestamp. 12:46 it got translated. Okay. Now at 12:50 I modified header.jsp. Okay, and I gave a request to ask name.jsp. I didn't modify ask name.jsp. Ask name.jsp was modified at 12:45, translated at 12:46. But after that, I gave a request to I changed it to header.jsp at 12:50. Right? If I give a request to ask name.jsp, will the latest contents of header.jsp be displayed or not? No. Why?
Because that is included as static.
Yes. So whenever you are including here, you have included header.jsp as static include. What happened? The contents of header.jsp are copied into this JSP and then translated statically, right? Now you give a request to ask name.jsp. Whenever a request comes, it will compare the timestamp of this JSP file with this one, right? It does not understand header.jsp is modified or not, right? So header.jsp, you will be seeing the old contents of header.jsp. Even though you modified header.jsp, you will be seeing the old contents of header.jsp whenever you give a request to ask name. Do you agree? But I have changed, I have included footer dynamically. So if I change my footer at 12:55 and I give a request, what will happen? Whenever I make a request to ask name.jsp, the translated servlet will be executed. In the translated servlet, what am I doing? I am dynamically calling include. So at that time, dynamically, whenever I give a request, it will try to include the output of footer.jsp, right? So you will get the latest changes, right? That is the difference between static include and dynamic include. So which do you prefer? Dynamic, right? But if you have a file which does not change, if you know that your file does not change, then you static include or else dynamic, right? See, whatever I talked till now is just based on JSP specification, right? According to JSP specification, this should be the case. But there are vendors who try to be very smart, right? Tomcat will try to say that I am very good, better than all the other containers, right? So what Tomcat did was, whether you are including statically or dynamically, the output will be same. Tomcat they have written code inside Tomcat such that if any of the included files are modified, whether you are including statically also, Tomcat will recognize those changes and then include them dynamically. Tomcat is giving some extra functionality more than what is specified in specification, right? But we should always think according to specification, because tomorrow if I don't use Tomcat, tomorrow I will go for some other server, but that server might not be providing this extra facility, right? So when writing code, we should always stick to specification, but sometimes the vendors might be giving some extra features, right? Tell me in Oracle, if you are using Oracle, Oracle is a database and MySQL is a database. Oracle is paid one, MySQL is not paid one, right? Free one. So Oracle might be providing much more advanced facilities which are not supported by MySQL. So if you write some code assuming Oracle, that may not work in MySQL. If you want portability, you should stick to SQL 96 standard. There is something standard called SQL 96. If your queries, whenever you are writing queries, if you are sticking to that standard, then only your queries are portable. Otherwise, your queries are not portable. So what I mean to say is, vendors will try to add some extra features. Similarly, Tomcat has added some extra features. Whether you have included statically or dynamically, Tomcat will be detecting the changes and your output will be changed. Okay? So you understand about static included and dynamic included? Let's take a break. Then we'll continue about how to redirect, how to forward, and some more other features.